So let's look at some of those things going forward. We've got some base features that are important when we talk about performance and scalability. So we're going to start off with the idea of their new storage model. You see, one of the things that they found is that the classic row-based storage that they've always done has performance issues. Now, it does perform very well and is comparable to all the other systems that are on the market for enterprise-level databases. But they didn't want to be comparable. They wanted to exceed the performance of those systems. In order to do that, they had to change the way they're storing the information so that you can query against it much faster and so that it takes up a much smaller footprint within your systems. Part of the way that they've achieved this goal is through what they call the column store index. See, a number of years ago they bought a company that had what they call the Vertipack engine, which for a long time was used as part of PowerPivot within the Excel add-in. We'll talk more about that component later. But the key idea behind the Vertipack was it was a compression engine. And that compression engine gives them the ability to store much larger amounts of data and still access it very efficiently. And the Vertipack engine stores that information in a different structure, fundamentally different structure. Rather than row-based, it's in fact column-based indexing of the information and data storage within the pages. This allows for a more robust compression model. It allows for querying that takes better advantage of the column-based indexing that SQL Server supports. So the end result was, by creating this new way of storing information within the page, they could greatly improve performance on all of your querying. And depending on what kinds of queries you're doing, they're recording up to 100 times faster query speeds coming back. So it really is a significant improvement. And so for those of you that are interacting with the data, you'll see that improvement, but it doesn't really change anything fundamental about the way SQL Server works from any of the UIs or the PowerShell scripts. What we're really talking about here is an infrastructure change in the way that data is physically being stored. And this is one of those key things that, for those of you that want to be database administrators or who are managing your current company's existing systems, you need to be aware that they are really changing the underlying paradigm of how they store information.